Hey, this is Ryan Jones with Serverless Guru. In the previous video, we covered how to abstract our serverless file into external files, which will hold app-specific information so that we're able to better reuse our projects for different cases or share them across teams, things like that. In this video, we're going to take a look at the serverless command line or serverless command line commands, I guess would be the proper way to say it. So the CLI has a interface which you can actually interact with to do really cool things. So as we can see here, serverless deploy function -f hello. So we're going to copy this and I'll explain it as we do it. So when we paste this in and we're getting ready to run it, what this is going to do is it's going to deploy a specific part of your application. So you're basically saying, don't worry about anything else in my app, don't worry about anything else that's been added to our serverless file, simply worry about redeploying this function. So what that means is that, let's say we made a change here that we wanted to reflect only in this one change. So let's say custom message. Okay, so we made this change, and now what we want to do is we want to deploy just this function and just this change. One thing that we still need to do is add our stage. So we're going to say that this stage is going to go to test with a region of US West 2, and we're going to add the V flag on there as well. So we can hit enter and quick, right? So immediately we've just uploaded a new version. We can switch back over to the AWS console. We can switch over to the US West 2, which is the region which it was deployed. And we can see our my first app test hello. And if we look inside of the console here, we can see that our message was changed. So we did actually redeploy it. We're going to create a test function called test1, and we're going to hit create. And so this is going to create, since this has been updated, we're able to basically run it and we're able to see our custom message added. So this command is very useful because you don't have to wait for the CloudFormation, basically you don't have to wait for AWS to run through and manually check to see if something's been updated already or not. We know it, so we can just skip past and go directly to the Lambda function and then deploy from there. So if you have 5 or 10 Lambda functions, let's say 8 of them are already good to go, your 9th one or your 10th one has minor updates that need to happen, and these Lambdas are actually isolated from each other, then you can push changes to one Lambda function without having to redeploy all of them at once. So that's really interesting, and it allows you for a little bit fine-tuned, like granular access to how you do your deploys. It also speeds it up quite a bit. So you saw that was less than a second to basically redeploy, whereas if that same deploy, if we did the entire stack, would take maybe around 45 seconds. So we can also invoke the function locally, and this will also give us logs. So we say serverless invoke -f hello -l. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, and you notice we didn't pass stage or region, so it's using defaults here. So it's going to look in US East 1 for the development stage, and it's then going to try to invoke it. So this may not actually go through, so let's go ahead and stop it, and let's add --stage test --region US West 2 -v. Looks like that did work. Cool. And so now we're able to basically invoke it and see the logs here on our screen. And you can also fetch these logs using serverless logs -f hello -t. This is basically streaming the logs. So as your function gets invoked, so what it says to do is open up a new terminal. So let's go ahead and cd desktop to serverless and then to my first app. And then let's run this command on stage test --region US West 2 -v. So this should be streaming in as we invoke our function. So if we then re-invoke this function a couple of times, looks like we are starting to get logs back now, which is great. We are able to see that the message is actually coming through. I don't actually see this. There we go. We got a couple of them there come through. So that's great, right? So we just invoked it twice. We have a terminal which is streaming our logs as they're coming in. So that's a really cool feature. And of course we have serverless remove, which is going to do teardowns. So one thing that I want to do before I end this video is let's go ahead and tear down some of the stacks that we've created already. So we're going to do SLS remove -- stage test -- region US West 2 -v. And then we'll also remove dev. Let's confirm that we actually have, so we only have test on US West 2, but then on North Virginia, we have test and dev. So we're going to tear down all of our stacks. So we're going to switch this to US East 1. This is equivalent to what we already have as our default. So really we don't even need this for this one. We can just say remove test stage and it'll automatically look for US East 1 because we set that inside of our config .dev file here. So US East 1 is our default region, so we don't have to specify it. And we can do the same thing here, where now it's going to go to the dev stage and it's going to look in US East 1 and we don't have to pass it any arguments. And so if we refresh this page, test is gone. Now when we run this command, we should be able to see that dev will also be removed. So this is kind of a cool video in the fact that you get to see a little bit more about how the serverless commands work. So there's things for invoking locally, which is great, or streaming the logs so you can see them coming in real time, or even doing things like removing stacks or hitting things based on stages and different regions, and doing cross deploys to multiple different places and different environments. Okay, so it looks like this is hanging a little bit. Let's go ahead and pass it stage dev and then region US East 1 and see if we can get it to work that way. Yeah, so it looks like there might be some small issue in how this is actually pulling it in. So currently have this set as dev and stage. So this is something to diagnose in a future video. For now, this kind of serves a purpose, so we're gonna go ahead and stop it. In the next video, we'll cover how to actually start creating external resources. So for our purposes, we're going to create a DynamoDB table inside of our serverless.yaml file. So now we'll be creating a Lambda function and a DynamoDB function or DynamoDB table, and we'll be seeing how these things work together and how CloudFormation can mix into serverless.yaml files as well. So, all right, this is Ryan Jones with Serverless Guru. I'll see you next time. Bye.